Hello, and welcome back to this podcast. I'm going to speak about a word, polymath. Okay, the polymath is an exceptionally versatile human who excels in multiple, seemingly unrelated fields. Over history and across the world, this fascinating breed has rejected specialization and shown us a more complete way of thinking and being in doing so. They have shaped our past and will own the future. Every human is born with multifarious potential. Why then do parents, schools, and employers insist that we restrict our many talents and interests, that we specialize in just one? We've been sold a myth that to specialize is the only way to pursue truth, identity, or even a livelihood, yet specialization is nothing but an outdated system that fosters ignorance, exploitation, and disillusionment, and thwarts creativity, opportunity, and progress. Following a series of exchanges with the world's greatest historians, futurists, philosophers, and scientists, Waqas Ahmed, for example, is a writer, has weaved together a narrative of history and a vision for the future that seeks to disrupt this prevailing system of unwarranted hyperspecialization. It reveals that the true specialist is actually a polymath. In the polymath, the writer shows us that there is another way of thinking and being through an approach that is both philosophical and practical. He sets out a cognitive journey towards rediscovering and unlocking your innate polymathic state. Going further, he proposes nothing less than a cultural revolution in our education and professional structures, whereby everyone is encouraged to express themselves in multiple ways and fulfill their many-sided potential. Okay, the writer here in his research enhances individual fulfillment, but in doing so facilitates a conscious and creative society that is both highly motivated and well equipped to address the complexity of 21st century challenges. Now, the following is a list of scientists who were polymaths. For example, Leonardo da Vinci, 1452 1519. He is an Italian Renaissance painter. He is painter, he is inventor, he is engineer, astronomer, anatomist, biologist, geologist, physicist, and architect. Okay, this is just some of what he was. George Washington Carver, 1864-1943. From slavery to agriculturalist, botanist, scientist, educator, artist, musician, and inventor, to name but a few of his qualities of areas where he excelled. Alexander Graham Bell, 1847-1922, invented the telephone, was a scientist and an engineer. George Athill, 1959. He was an American avant-garde composer, pianist, author, endocrinologist, and inventor. Gregory Bateson, 1904-1980, was a British anthropologist, sociologist, semiotician, linguist, and cyberneticist. Imhotep, 2650 and 2611 before BC, before our era, for modern era. Egyptian chancellor, physician, and architect. Pythagoras, 580 490 BC. Greek mathematician, philosopher, and scientist. The term philosophy means love of wisdom here. Aristotle, 384-322 BC, Greek philosopher, student of Plato, and teacher of Alexander the Great. His fields of expertise include physics, metaphysics, poetry, theatre, music, logic, rhetoric, politics, ethics, biology, zoology. He numbers among the greatest polymaths of all time. Archimedes, 287 c. 287 c. 212 before BC, before current era, before BC. Greek mathematician, physicist, engineer, inventor, and astronomer. Claudius Ptolemy, 168 AD, was a scientist, mathematician, astronomer, geographer, poet. He lived in Egypt under Roman rules and is credited for the geocentric theory, where the Earth is in the center of the solar system. Zhang Hing, 78-137, Han Dynasty Chinese politician, historian, philosopher, poet, mathematician, astronomer, geographer, cartographer, painter, sculptor, and inventor. He invented the seismometer to detect earthquakes. Hypatia, 350 date of birth, but okay, it's not sure. 415 AD, was a Greek mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer. She lived in Egypt and was killed by a Christian mob. Jabir ibn Hayyan, 721 and 815, Persian or Arab Muslim chemist, alchemist, astronomer, engineer, pharmacist, physician, physicist, and scientist. He wrote 300 books on philosophy, on mechanical devices and military machinery, and hundreds of books on alchemy. Al-Khwarizmi, c. 780 850, Persian mathematician, astronomer, and geographer. Ziryab, 789 857, Iraqi poet, musician, singer, cosmologist, fashion designer, astronomer, botanist, and geographer. Al-Kindi, 801 873, Arab astronomer, geographer, mathematician, meteorologist, musician, philosopher, physicist, scientist, and politician. He wrote 265 treatises. Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi, 865 925, Persian physician, alchemist, chemist, and philosopher. Abhinavagupta, 975 1025, Indian philosopher, literary critic, musician, poet, dramatist, dancer, and logician. Ibn al-Haytham, 965 10 or 1039, an Iraqi scientist, physicist, anatomist, physician, psychologist, astronomer, engineer, inventor, mathematician, ophthalmologist, philosopher, and theologian. He was one of the first to formulate the scientific method. Ibn al-Haytham Ibn al-Haytham's method combined mathematics, including observation and experimentation. You can observe this in his work on optics. The emission theory held that the eyes emit rays of light. The intromission theory held that objects reflect or emit physical particles that enter the eyes. Ibn al-Haytham proved that both theories were incorrect. His theory, the intromission, proved a theory of vision, demonstrated that light travels in straight lines, even through transparent bodies, is reflected off objects and into the eye. Abu Rayhan al-Bayruni, 1973 1048, Persian scientist, physicist, anthropologist, astronomer, astrologer, encyclopedist, geographer, geologist, and historian, mathematician, pharmacist, physician, and philosopher. He introduced Indian scientific knowledge and thought to the Middle East and the West. Avicenna Ibn Rushd, 980 1037, physician, astronomer, chemist, geologist, logician, paleontologist, mathematician, physicist, poet, psychologist, and scientist. He wrote almost 450. He is known as the father of modern medicine. He is also considered the father of the fundamental concepts of momentum in physics. Ibn Hazm, 994, 1064, Andalusian Arab polymath. He wrote over 500 works on jurisprudence, logic, history, ethics, comparative religion, theology, the ring of the dove, and the art of love. Okay, we can stop. There is Amal al-Khiyam, الشريعة الشريعة ناصر الدين الطوسي Ibn Nafis. There are many of them. Thank you for listening. I hope that you got the point.